Hello, my name is Antonia Fields, and I'm here to talk to you about today's topic. Designer babies. What are they? What's the problem? Should designer babies exist? This is it. The day has come to where we can create our own babies. But should we alter the genes of our children? Well, maybe to prevent passing down a family genetic disease, or to help another sibling. But why not increase their intelligence as well? Or even heighten their metabolism? Or make them more attractive? This is where conflicts between ethics and science start to arise. Is it right for a parent to change the baby's characteristics or their appearance simply because they want them to be perfect? Well, we are going to discuss that today. So here's Gabriel Boyer with our main info.
Thank you, Antonia.
So what exactly is a designer baby?
The term designer baby refers to a baby whose genetic makeup has been specifically selected or altered. Usually only specific genes, physically or mentally, would be altered. The cost of most of these procedures can range from $10,000 to even $100,000. An in vitro fertilization or IVF procedure is an increasingly common procedure that helps couples with infertility problems to conceive children. The process gives the ability for couples to select or alter a gene for the child. Preimplantation genetic diagnosis is a procedure that allows viable embryos to be screened for various traits before implanting them into the mother. PGD allows physicians the ability to select certain genes that are susceptible to genetic conditions. PGD is most commonly recommended when the parent carries a genetic disease and passes it down to their child. Also, research has shown that the inserted genes are not passed down to the offspring. However, many parents today took PGD for granted. They became influenced to change many things they desired to have nothing to do with the child's health. These parents were only interested in making the child they dreamed of to fix their own genes or ancestors that they saw as a problem. They have the ability to change the baby's eye color, hair color, height, athleticism, or even the gender. This is the reason that this controversy even exists. If the genetic changes have nothing to do with their health, then parents shouldn't change their genes just to make them fit their image. The child should inherit the genes of their ancestors. Back to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Gabriel. The history of the designer baby can date back to the 1930s. Primarily in America, baby contests were held that determined who had the baby with the best features. This increased the public's desire for a child that had the genes that they saw were perfect. In 1952, the first success to clone frogs was accomplished by Robert Briggs and Thomas King, creating the pathway to modifying DNA. In 1957, Julian Huxley wrote an influential paper on transhumanism, a movement that wants to transform the human race by various technological enhancements. He says that he supports it and that transhumanism will allow mankind to be at its full potential and will discover its destiny. This paper brought an increase to supporters and focus of technological developments. In 1974, Rudolf Ginsburg had been the first to genetically modify a mouse. He inserted a DNA virus in the early embryos of the mouse, and the inserted genes became a part of every cell. However, the inserted gene was not passed down to the offspring. The modern-day IVF movement was sparked by the first test tube baby. In 1978, Louise Brown is an English woman who is known for being the first baby to have gone through the IVF procedure. Even though she's known as the test tube baby, this process took place in a petri dish. Her mother tried and failed to conceive the baby for 9 years. It wasn't until after the IVF procedure that she was able to produce a baby. The scientists watched her mother's embryonic cells divide. After Lisa's birth, her mother tried to undergo the IVF procedure one more time, but she wasn't able to conceive until 4 years later. The second daughter became the 40th baby in the world to be born with the IVF procedure. In the year 2000, the Savior sibling, Adam Nash, became one of the world's first genetically modified babies. Adam's sister, Molly, had a fatal disease called Fanconi anemia. Donors from unrelated children and adults were strongly debated among the family. Dr. John Wagner suggested that he use IVF to save her life. but this failed for the first few years. Then, when her mother conceived another baby, Adam, it was found that none of the stem had any traces of Fanconi anemia. Adam continued to go through the IVF procedure so that the blood from his umbilical cord could be used to save Molly's. That's exactly what happened when Adam was once born. And because of his genetic modifications, he was dubbed Little Frankenstein. However, this event led future parents to have their children undergo the same process, but not to save their life. They want to change things about them, like their hair color, intelligence, looks, etc. Now here's Daniel with the effects of the designer baby.
I'm back on. Thank you, Antonio. Designer babies are a very controversial topic in the medical field. With many pros and cons and many different opinions, people are unsure if designer babies are a positive advancement in medical technology. There's one side of the argument where people are supporting it, and another side where they're not. Genetically engineering a baby will give better understanding of genetics for biologists. Designer babies will increase the human life expectancy by 30 years. It can also prevent genetic diseases such as Alzheimer's and spinal muscular atrophy. It will have a positive influence on different parts of life, such as the baby's health and intelligence. You can enhance your baby's mental capabilities before your baby's even born. Genetically designed babies can reduce the chances of various genetic disorders. Another pro of genetically designing your baby is that parent gets to set the limits and changes. As there are many pros, there are also a fair amount of cons when genetically designing a baby. Genetic engineers are not able to 100% evaluate every gene. If the process is not done carefully, the embryo can and accidentally be killed. A baby doesn't have you don't have the baby's consent to have its body altered. Parents may also only use this for appearance concerns. Genetically designing a baby would create gaps in society due to the fact that designer babies will most likely be better looking and more knowledgeable. Another con is that the procedure is not cheap and many can't afford it. People in favor support the fact that many diseases are caused by a single genetic mutation. Therefore, it is right to edit or alter a DNA of an embryo to remove or prevent the disease. Those in favor also believe that these scientific advantages can be regulated. Those against it believe it is not right for the parents to alter the body because the parents do not own their child. They also believe that it is morally and ethically wrong to change an embryo's genes, especially if it's for physical features. A poll found that 83% of people thought genetic modification to a baby would make the baby more clever. This would be taking medical advantages too far, according to MIT Technology Review. For ourselves, we believe that it is fine if you design your baby for the benefit of the baby or someone else in the family, but do not just because of their physical features.
Thank you, Daniel. Now, as the video comes to an end, let's wrap up with what we discussed today. The creation and development of designer babies has become a very controversial topic, mainly because of ethics. Some people believe it's wrong because you're editing a human being's natural genes, feeling that you're not accepting how the baby is supposed to be. Others feel that they should edit the child's genes so that they wouldn't pass down any genetic disorders to future generations. In doing so, we could possibly find the cure or erase diseases that some families are more susceptible of getting, or anyone at all. We could even increase our life expectancy. This might be the next step in natural evolution of the human species. I'll admit, how quickly technology is advancing is a bit scary, but the future is approaching no matter what. What was an insane science fiction is about to become a new reality full of opportunities and challenges. Now that is all for today. Thank you for watching.
Traits that aren't susceptible to genetic condition. PGD is the most commonly recommended when the parent carries a genetic disease and passes it down to their children. Also, research has what are you doing?
there, Gabe. Maybe you should have been a designer baby.
This is really not healthy. Oh, you didn't hear that, right? All right, it's okay. Gabriel.